You're about to enter a very puzzling mystery. You're driving along quite close to your Uncle William's house, and you plan to call in. He seems to have disappeared. 3 weeks ago was the last time anybody heard from him. This is not so unusual. He's known as a very eccentric old man. But you are passing anyway, so you might as well stop by. It's a nasty day, and as you drive slowly along his road, you have to peer hard out of the windows to look for his house. This must be the place. You can see the house behind the high hedge. It's an old 3-story detached, tall and dark. The front garden is full of weeds and high bushes, almost blocking the windows. The rain is heavy. You walk quickly up the gravel path leading to the front door. Uncle always said he kept a key under the doormat, but better knock anyway. There's no answer. You unlock the door and step inside. You're in the downstairs hall. There's a big old grandfather clock showing just before 4 o'clock. A pile of letters on the mat. A couple of personal ones. A gas bill. Some junk mail and, strangely, 4 letters together from the electricity board. The hall is drab and dusty. The wallpaper is worn and peeling in places. At the far end, the stairs lead up into darkness. You walk along past the stairs to the kitchen door. You see on the wall framed certificates, prizes in electrical research from when Uncle was a physics professor 20 years ago. You go through into the kitchen. There's a mess of things on the kitchen table. String, old bottles, pencils, small coins, but nothing that unusual. Over by the sink, one of the drawers is open. Inside, there are all sorts of bits and pieces. Some papers, a crumpled newspaper article with Uncle's pen marks on it. It's from a month ago. It's from a scientific magazine. It reports an amazing discovery. According to a Dr. Black, what seems to be a modern footprint, actually from the sole of an Adidas training shoe, is petrified in solid rock along with dinosaur prints that they found in their survey. Dating analysis apparently confirms its age. The prehistory science community has totally condemned Black's discovery, saying that he is a victim of an elaborate hoax. Dr. Black has continued to reaffirm his story despite these attacks. You wonder why he was keeping this. There are no more clues here. Perhaps you'd better explore the rest of the house. There's another door leading from the kitchen, perhaps into the dining room. There's a strange dim light coming from the edge of the door, and a faint humming noise. You open the door very carefully and peer around into the room. You see the dining table covered with small electric parts, motors, meters, silicon components of all kinds. This must be Uncle's workroom. He's built a rough old bench against the right-hand wall, full of computer equipment, oscilloscopes, various other testing instruments. There's a very dangerous-looking generator of some kind with electric arcs sparking between the terminals. As you open the door wide, you see something in the far corner of the room. A strange-looking machine, about 7 feet high, 5 feet square. It's covered in cables, electrical circuits and flashing lights. Around the side of it, there's a small door. You try to open it. It's locked or stuck. You pull harder. Inside, it's very cramped. There's a console of some sort opposite the door, with large dials on it, and displays showing numbers of some sort. On the right, a small porthole window. There's a bench or desk on the left, a book with a scribbled note tucked into it. It just says, "To whoever it may concern, I've decided to stay here." The book is a diary. You turn to the recent pages. There's an entry for 1 week ago. It says, September the 1st, 10 a.m. At long last I've finished the machine. Now they'll all be proved wrong. Everyone that didn't believe me when I said I was building it. Just have to charge it up for another hour, then the first test. I'm using far too much power. Let's hope they don't cut me off before I go. 11:30 a.m. Now, time for the first test. Just in case anything goes wrong, I'll write down the coordinates. 50, 10, -6. That's it. Here goes. Well, there are 3 main dials on the front console. You turn the first to 50, the next to 10, the third one back to -6. Now a red button has started to flash on and off. You hesitate a little, then press it. Nothing's happened. Perhaps this machine doesn't do anything, or you haven't pressed the correct controls. But you can feel a low vibration. There's something happening. You look out of the porthole. All you can see are swirling, dim patterns of light, changing slowly from lines to ribbons and cloud shapes. It makes no sense. The numbers on the displays have started to count down, getting faster and faster. The machine seems to be travelling somewhere, but you don't feel any acceleration or movement. Now you can see stars out of the window. They seem to be very close. Some are blue and hot. They hurt your eyes. Some are yellow, with white dwarf companions. There's a brilliant red gas cloud, with new forming stars inside. They fade away, and everything has gone dark. You're in a void. It's completely black and empty. Now you can see in the distance a whirlpool of light, spinning very fast. It's coming closer. The machine seems to be accelerating towards it. It's going to dive into the center. The walls of the machine are shaking. You're being thrown up and down. You try to keep yourself upright. The white light is pulsating through the porthole. It feels like you're dropping and spiraling very fast. You hold on and wait for the journey to end. You can just focus on the console. The numbers are slowing down. It feels like the machine is stopping, reaching its destination. At last, the vibration has stopped. There's a bright light coming from the window. Outside, there are leaves pushing against it. You can't see through them. Once again, you pick up your uncle's diary. It says, "It worked. I'm here. Now I can solve the mystery of this footprint. Maybe he's still here." You decide to go out and explore. A wave of heat hits you as you step outside. There are insect sounds all around you. You're in a thick forest with strange-looking trees like palms of some kind in all directions. You wonder what on earth your uncle has invented. The room, the house, it's all disappeared. There's no sign of your uncle being here. You look around to find which way to go. Just about 30 yards away, there's some light. A clearing, perhaps. You walk towards it, pushing through the undergrowth, treading on muddy earth and leaves. You've reached the edge of the forest. In front of you is a huge plain of short grass. You can see for miles. In the distance, there are mountains covered in clouds. The edge of the forest stretches left and right as far as you can see. On the plain, a long way away, there are animals. They're huge, like elephants, but much bigger, with great long necks. They're dinosaurs. Uncle William has invented a time machine. No wonder he's come here. Obviously, he's checking out that magazine article with the mysterious footprint. You look round to the left. There's another dinosaur. It's a Tyrannosaurus. It crashes out of the forest just 100 yards away. You can see its huge teeth, blood dripping from them. It turns its head from side to side. Suddenly it sees you. It's coming. You must get away, back into the forest. As you run, your feet are getting stuck in the mud. It's only about 20 feet behind, smashing through the trees. You can see the machine just ahead. You tear open the door and shut it behind you. You must get away. Press anything. The view outside the window has faded. Nothing else is happening. Perhaps this is a sort of suspended state. dematerialization. You turn one of the dials. On the console, there's a display of numbers. It's going down, going backwards, getting faster and faster. This could be really dangerous. You pick up your uncle's diary again. There's another entry on the next page. It says, September the 2nd. I spent the day yesterday exploring the primeval forest. I still can't work out where the footprint came from. Still, after several experiments now, I think I know how to set my controls more precisely. I'm setting the dials again. 21, 10, 22. This time I'm going to try another period, the 15th century. There are no more entries in the diary. Perhaps your uncle did get to the 15th century. You turn the dials to the same settings. 21, 10, 22. The red button is flashing on and off again. You press it. The machine is shaking like before. There's a whirlpool of white light again outside the window. Something different is happening. The controls on the console are moving by themselves. Please don't be alarmed. You are quite safe. The voice seemed to come from inside the machine. The vibration has stopped. The number displays have stopped. There's now a golden light from the window pulsating gently. We are taking control of your machine and bringing you to the future. It will arrive in a few moments. When it comes to rest, please open the door and step outside. You will come to no harm. You leave the door and walk out into a world of the future. The time machine is in the middle of a vast flat space. The floor below is pulsing with a low orange light. The sky is dark, but there are lights everywhere. Fantastic vehicles are moving silently across the sky. Huge towers in the distance, enormously tall, shine lasers and searchlight beams in all directions. It feels confusing and unfriendly. There are people standing, watching, about 50 yards away in small groups. One of them is walking towards you, silhouetted by lights behind. You can't see his face. You are now in what you would call the 25th century. We tolerated one person from your century trying to travel in time, but we cannot permit any more to do so. Your uncle stumbled on secrets of time travel that will not be truly known to humanity for 300 years. Because of his knowledge, We permitted his request to remain. He is here. It was our mistake that we left his writings for others to find. Also, we didn't realize that he had sent his machine back to his own time automatically for others to discover and use. I'm afraid that you cannot stay any longer. A one-way travel vortex is being initiated. It is not dangerous. It will return you to the exact moment you entered your uncle's house. It will be as if none of these events occurred. Goodbye. A yellow light is appearing around your body, starting to spin. The lights of the future world are fading. A dimmer light appears. The drab hall of your uncle's house. Everything's the same. The letters on the mat. The old table and mirror. The coat stand. The big old clock. That's strange. It says 10 to 4. That's too early. Surely you came into the house just before it struck 4 o'clock.